There's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school.
I think a college education is still a great investment in yourself.
There's a point of diminishing returns in terms of what it's worth for a college education and how much debt you're willing to saddle yourself with.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. My one word is believe, and I believe in you. I believe you have an amazing gift inside you that I want to see explode out onto the world. Now, I started the Believe Life series to try to tackle different topics outside of just entrepreneurship that can apply, hopefully, to your life and to your community and the people around you. So to help you live your best Believe life, today we're going to look at, do you need to have a college degree to be successful? Enjoy. Let's kick things off with rule number 1, learn things for yourself with Elon Musk.
There's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school. I mean, if somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case. You know, if you look at, say, people like Bill Gates or Larry Ellison, Steve Jobs, these guys didn't graduate from college. But if you had a chance to hire them, of course, that would be a good idea.
How did you get the expertise to be the chief technology officer of a rocket ship company?
I do have a physics background. That's helpful as a foundation. And then I read a lot of books and talked to a lot of smart people.
You're self-taught?
Yeah. Well, self-taught, yes, meaning I don't have an aerospace degree.
So how did you go about acquiring the knowledge?
Well, like I said, I read a lot of books, talked to a lot of people, and have a great team.
Rule number 2, information is everywhere with Warren Buffett.
In my experience in business, there is very little difference, if any, between a very high-priced business education and what's available for a lot less money. So I went to the University of Nebraska at Lincoln my last year in college. I went to Wharton for a couple of years before that. I learned just as much at the University of Nebraska as I did at Wharton. And there's nothing against Wharton. I mean, it's just we had a very good school here. I had some terrific professors at Lincoln. And so I would not assume that if I was paying a few $1,000s for an education here in the state, for example, versus paying huge amounts elsewhere, that it was going to make a lot of difference. A lot of the education, you need to be prodded in the right direction, but an awful lot of it is self-taught. I mean, Andrew Carnegie did a wonderful thing in this country in terms of libraries, and I used to spend a lot of time at libraries. I even got locked in at the University of Omaha, what was then the University of Omaha, and I couldn't get out for hours. And one night I got so entranced with what I was reading. But there's all kinds of information available now with the internet. It's so much easier than it was then. So it's out there to be taken, and it isn't necessary to pay $30,000 or $35,000 a year to go to some big name school to get the education at all. I mean, if you're going to learn accounting, which is probably the most important course you'd take in business, if you're going to learn accounting, you can learn accounting absolutely as well, in my view, going to UNO as going to Harvard. I mean, I see. I'd bet on that, and so I wouldn't run up huge bills in terms of getting a business education. Now, if you're going to get a medical education, I mean, there's certain professions where there may not be any way around spending a fair amount of money and getting in debt to some degree. You've got to make that decision yourself, but I'd certainly try to minimize it. And I would have it figured out how I would handle that debt in, say, a 5-year period after I got out of school, or I would think twice about incurring it.
Rule number 3, college is a good investment in yourself with Bill Gates.
I think a college education is still a great investment in yourself. It's a time when you can broaden your horizons, spend time with other smart, curious people. And so if it's possible to spend 4 years in college, I'd encourage everybody to do it. I think it it's not just the economic benefit that you have that degree, it also helps you to be a lot broader.
Rule number 4, are you willing to go into debt? With Mark Cuban.
If your school is building buildings, your school is f***ed.
But every school is building buildings.
Exactly. That's my point of my post. It's like the newspaper industry, right? More printing presses, more big buildings, right? Makes us look grander. We have brains that we're putting them out there. There's a point of diminishing returns in terms of what it's worth for a college education and how much debt you're willing to saddle yourself with. I mean, $40,000 in debt. That's a shitload of money. I don't want $40,000 in debt. You know, it's just, I think decision points have got to be different. Schools have got more administrators making over $200,000 a year than they have profs. You know, and then the people that they're saying are the greatest educators that you can get, and you're getting all your money's worth here, they're paying $1,500, $2,000, $5,000 a class. And those people have to have other jobs. And so there's just, you and I both do the same thing. We look for industries that are ripe for disruption because they do things the way they've always done them. And I think universities, four-year universities, are doing it, and it's a real problem.
And rule number 5, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is stay in school with Mark Zuckerberg.
My question for you: do you think a bachelor's degree, with your experience with college and everything, do you think a bachelor's degree is a necessary key to attaining success?
Ooh, I am not your role model on this one. Yeah, absolutely. Stay in school. Look. Be real. I think it helps. I loved the time that I spent in college. I wish I could have gotten more time. I did not choose to leave. I just happened to build Facebook, and it kind of made me leave. But if I had the opportunity to learn for 2 more years in college, I mean, college is this magical time, right, where you get to explore different interests and focus on different things, and meet great people. And that is not something that I would have wanted to have given up. And if I could have magically if I could have done Facebook in my senior year, I would have done that. Or after I left, I would have done that, and I wish I could have stayed in college. But, and of course, there's no doubt. I mean, there's a lot of research that shows that having a bachelor degree absolutely does help increase your job potential, your earnings potential, all that. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's kind of crazy for, I'm not necessarily the best spokesperson for this message, but like, unless there's a really, really good reason to leave college, you really should finish college. And even me, I'm going back to college to I'm going to get a degree this year. Harvard finally allowed me to come back. And I have to say, I think that this is probably going to be the thing that my parents are most proud of me for. So look, yes, I'm not the right messenger, but stay in school.
Now I've got a very special bonus clip around not substituting thinking with education with Peter Thiel, a billionaire investor that I think you're really going to enjoy. But before that, I want to know your take. What do you think? Is college worth it or not? Did you go? Would you go back if you had to? What are your thoughts? What would your advice be to somebody who's thinking about it right now? Leave it down in the comments below. I'm really curious to find out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in you. I hope you continue to believe in yourself and whatever your one word is. Much love. I'll see you soon, and enjoy the bonus clip.
I've never said that there's a one-size-fits-all approach. People have mischaracterized my view is that everyone should drop out of college, everyone should start a company. I don't think everybody should be starting companies. Just given this power law thing, I think a lot of companies don't work. We need more people to start good companies. But I think also the sort of super tract dynamics have gotten us to a very bad place where education has become a substitute for thinking about the future. And the K through 12 system is geared towards college, And the problem is life doesn't end in college. Hopefully you live for a long time after that and do many things after college. And there's a strange way where we live in a society where there's a lot of anxiety about the future, and we've put more and more money into education for the last 35 years as a way of dealing with this anxiety, where if you get into the right college, you'll be saved. If you don't, you're in trouble. And I've sort of described the college, the sort of dramatic version I've said is, colleges, they're as corrupt as the Catholic Church was 500 years ago. They're sort of charging people more and more. It's the system of indulgences. You have this priestly or professorial class that doesn't do very much work. And then you basically tell people that if you get a diploma, you're saved. Otherwise you go to hell. You go to Yale or you go to jail. That's sort of and what I think we need to push back on this idea that the only way you get saved is, Catholic Church 500 years ago or today, the only way to get saved is by getting a diploma from college. And I hope that in the future there will be many different kinds of productive things for people to do. My goal with the Teal Fellowship was not to start a new church, a startup church or something like that. It's not to have this alternate one-size-fits-all thing, but I think the future system will be one that's much more heterogeneous and where there will be many more ways for people to be successful.
So let me give you the one-word secret to happiness. One word. This is all you need to be happy.
The most important word ever.
If you had to think of one word that's most important to you or that sums you up or that would be kind of like a little beacon.
Hey Believe Nation, if you want to know what the most important one word is for Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, Oprah Winfrey, will.i.am, and Howard Schultz, I have a very special secret video for you. Check the description for details.